Hello all, myself Dr. Sridhar Barichetti, and I would like to take to a course of basically a deep learning for beginners basically. So as such, I'm a beginner. At the time of starting, I was really in a confusion how to start the machine learning, because everywhere the people are screaming about machine learning in each and every topic. So I really just got stuck how to start and where to start, what is machine learning, what is deep learning, what is artificial intelligence. So keeping that in point of view, I generally thought I should start a course for the beginners who are really in a confusion where to start from scratch to learn the machine learning concept. It may be an electrical engineer, or mechanical engineer, or chemical engineer, or computer science engineer. Somewhere initially they have to start the machine learning. Okay, so keeping that in view, I have started this course. This course is basically for the beginners, not for the experts. So who want to start their career or who want to start learning about the machine learning. You know, you may find the examples in general life. They are talking about machine learning as well as deep learning. So machine learning as well as deep learning and artificial intelligence. Machine learning, deep learning, and AI, artificial intelligence. So firstly, when you heard a word of machine learning, what do you think? That a machine is going to learn something? And okay, machine is going to learn something, or what are going to do? So machine learning is something like understanding machine learning, in a different way brings a lot of confusion. Okay, so we should be very careful, like how should we learn the machine learning concept or deep learning concept or artificial intelligence concepts. So first let us be clear what is the difference between the machine learning, deep learning, and artificial intelligence. So according to me, I'll tell you, you be very crystal and clarify. Deep learning, deep learning, deep learning is a kind of machine learning. Machine learning is a kind of artificial intelligence. So this one I just bought off out of my experience. So if you assume this is artificial intelligence is a huge space, in this huge space there is a space for the machine learning. In this machine learning space there is a space for the deep learning. So there is a artificial intelligence, this is a machine learning, and this is a deep learning. This is the main classification of this thing. Now, the first and foremost question that will come to your mind is, what is machine learning? What is machine learning? So now onwards, in short, we'll tell machine learning as ML. What is machine learning? In short, machine learning is modeling technique that involves data. So it's a it's a modeling technique that involves data. So you may be getting like what kind of model and how it is getting reflected and what is its learning actually. So okay, so this definition may be too short for the first timers. So let me elaborate a little bit on this. So a machine learn figures out a model out of data. That means for example, you have the data means like it may be documents, it may be audio, it may be video, it may be images, it may be anything that related. So that in the form of a data. So this model, the model is the final product of machine learning. Okay, so here, why the word that learning is comes. I mean, what's the significance of this learning that you have to understand? Because the the learning process here, it is resembles, it's being trained with the data to solve a problem to find the model. So this is what we are calling as a learning. So basically what is happening here is there is a data. Okay, there is a data, and this data you are feeding to a algorithm or a machine learning model. So this is called machine learning model. This will give you output. This output is in the form of a model. Okay, so here what is meant by the model? What happens during the machine learning process? So for instance, the model is nothing more than what we want to achieve as a final product. For example, if we are developing a auto filtering system to remove a spam mail from our Gmail accounts, the spam mail filter is the model that we are talking about. In that sense, the model is actually we use, it is something like a hypothesis. But machine learning is not the only modeling technique. The people has used so many other modeling techniques which employs the Newton laws that describe the motion of the objects, and they have used so many other things like they have used so many laws, scientific laws, logical. So those are all. So but the question here is, why should we use machine learning? What's the purpose of the machine learning? Like uh, sometimes there are some areas where the laws, whatever called basically the laws which are defined by some sort of equations, and the logical reasoning, the laws and the logical reasoning are not very useful in modeling. In that kind of stuff, our intelligence plays a more relevant role. For example, if I give certain image, okay, certain image, I'll tell you. So I'll ask you, what is this image? Uh, so, I mean, like, I'll try to make you listen some sort of voice, and I'll ask you, whose voice is this? So, as your intuition says that, yes, this is the voice of this guy, this is the image of this guy. But how the computer knows it, whether the image of this guy, and how do you define with the help of equations? How do you define whether that image is particularly related to that guy? So where certain areas there are, those are called the gray areas, where the people are really, it's very difficult to explain the characteristics or the model with the help of equations. That is where the machine learning plays a very, very important role. For instance, you just imagine some people will write one as like this, some people write one as like this, some people write one as like this, some people write one as like this. So there are so many people they'll write. Now for instance, if you take two, some people write two like this, some people to write like two like this, some people write two like this, some people write two like this. So there are a number of ways to write two. But if I show you this image, what's the letter it says, then immediately it is two. How are you going to tell this? How are you going to tell this? How did you do that? So like that is what. So how do you define, like suppose this is an image and this image itself is letting us a 2, and how do you say that? How do you formulate equations to detect this number as a 2? Isn't it? It's very difficult, isn't it? No. So that is what that is what the thing we where we are not applying our sort of formulas, scientific rules to find it. So where we will apply some sort of a rule or algorithm to distinguish a number. So that is what we are calling as making a model out of the data is called the machine learning concept. So like if you understood this, congratulations to you. You have just grasped the concept of machine learning. So machine learning has been created to solve the problems for which analytical models are hardly available. The primary idea of the machine learning is to achieve a model using the training data when equations and laws are not promising. Now, what are the challenges of the machine learning? What are the challenges of machine learning? That is most important. Challenges of machine learning. What are the challenges of machine learning is the most important things. Here, we just discovered that the machine learning is a technique that is used to find a model from the data. So that is the finding or called the learning. So it is suitable for the problems that involve the intelligence, such as the image recognition, speech recognition, where the physical laws or the mathematical equations fail to produce a model. On the other hand, it brings inevitable problems, and the fundamental issues of the machine learning. There are some fundamental issues of the machine learning are. Once the machine learning finds the model from the training data, we apply the model to the actual data. So for example, like this it is happening. So you have some data, okay. So generally this data we are calling as a training data. You assume that you have some data. This data is called the training data. This training data will be given to a machine learning model. So here this machine learning will take the data and train it, and then will out the model. Okay, this will out the model. So whether we should know whether the model is accurate or not. We don't know, right? So for this model, again we should give some sort of a input. We should give some sort of an input, and this based on this model we expect the output. Okay, so here this is how general flow of a model based data that will occurs. So you are giving some sort of a data. That data we are calling a training data, given to a machine learning algorithm that will give rise to model. But in general, what will happen in terms of equations is you have a set of equations that define the model. Generally we have a set of equations that define the model. So for example, let me take one equation here as maybe like x is equal to 2y plus 4. So based on the input of y, so you will get the output of x. Say for example, y is equal to 1, x is equal to 2 into 1 plus 4. That is 2, that is 6 value that is coming out from this model. But perhaps here in the machine learning model things are a little different. Based on the training data, you will train the model. That model will sits here, and if you give certain input based upon the model that you have designed, based on the type of machine learning technique, the output will be obtained. Okay, so now for this let's add one more block, like the distinctness of this training data and input is the structural challenge of the machine learning faces. So for example, um, you will take one example that suppose the training data you have given, okay, the data that you have given, you wanted to apply this machine learning principle to recognize the handwritten data. Okay, you want to recognize the handwritten data of some specific person, and you have fed the data to here, and you have make the system, with the help of some sort of algorithms, you made the system to train to detect this data. And when you give this sort of input, that it will detect the output. But perhaps if you just give some sort of input like this, whether it will detect the system or not. So the possibility is very, very low. Okay, so that means what is happening here, that no machine learning approach can achieve the desired goal with wrong training data. So the same ideology will also applies to the deep learning technique also. Therefore, it is critical for the machine learning to get a unbiased training data that adequately reflects the characteristics of field data. So from this you would have understand the process that should be used to make the model performance consistent regardless the training of the data, that is called the generalization. That is most important. So the success of machine learning heavily relies on this generalization. Okay, the more the accurate data, the more the data that you are giving generalized, the accurate the output is. Otherwise, the output will be really not accurate. Now there is one more problem, that is called overfitting. Overfitting. What is this overfitting? What is this overfitting? Yes, don't get frustrated by the new word called overfitting. So we'll just learn it. It is not a new concept at all. It is very much easy to understand with some sort of case studies. Let us take a simple example, okay, and then we'll try to distinguish. Say for example, you have an image or a data. The data has a circles and a question marks. Okay, circles and question marks. Now you have given this data to you have given this data to a machine learning model, and you ask the machine learning model, you train the machine learning model to to differentiate which are the circles and which are the question marks. So you have given this data fantastically. So then the machine learning model maybe gives rise to a little normal border. So it will classify whatever the data that is there here. These are the circles. What are the data that this is question marks. But it is reasonably well. There are some zeros here, so that's reasonably accurate. That is coming. That is. But in order to make you more accurate, what you generally do is you will train the model again and again and again and again and again and again with the data. So then the model will be definitely goes as the model will be definitely tries to make it so accurate that all this will be trying to identify. Okay, now it will try to group it's fantastically. That is perfectly alright. But sometimes what happens for this kind of data, if I started entering this new data, like so at present we have two sets of data, that is set 1 and set 2, and what we introduced is for this trend model we have introduced new set of data. When we introduce the new set of data, it may fail to achieve, it may fail to identify what kind of data it is. So this is sometimes gives rise to you know um, in other words I can say that this data contains much noise. So the problem is that there is no way for machine learning to distinguish this, as this the machine learning concept considers all the data, even the noise. It ends up producing an improper model. So if you believe that every element of the training data is correct and the model fit precisely, you will get a model with lower generalizability. This is called overfitting. So this is called overfitting. So overfitting means the model with lower generalizability is called the overfitting. Okay, now you'll face a dilemma. What should we do? Whether should we reduce the error, or if you try to reduce the error, then it degrades the generalizability. It's really a dilemma for a beginners, like what should we do? So then we should have to confront the overfitting. So the overfitting is significantly affects the level of performance of the machine learning. So we can tell who is a pro and who is an amateur by watching their respective approaches in dealing with overfitting. So here the overfitting can be, the overfitting can be confronted by using two methods. One is regularization. So again, new word. So you must note these new words. That is called regularization. Regularization. Okay. This regularization is a numerical method that attempts to construct a model structure as simple as possible. So it attempts to structure a model as simple as possible. This is called regularization. This simplified model can avoid the effect of overfitting at the cost of a at the cost of small I mean at the small cost of performance. Okay, so now uh, you know let's come back to the cost function and the learning section in a little detail. For now, you just understand that regulation is a numerical method that attempts to construct a model as simple as possible. Okay, so however, this is not the case for most situations, as the data has higher dimensions. We cannot draw a model and initially evaluate the effect of overfitting of such data. Therefore, we need another method to determine whether the trained model is overfitted or not. This is where the validation comes into picture. This is where the validation will comes into picture. The validation is a process that resolves a part of training data and uses this to monitor the performance. Okay, so like what is meant by validation and how are we going to do it? So the validation, when the validation is involved, the training process of machine learning has to done this way. For example, you are taking a set of data, you are taking a set of data. So I'm assuming these are the data sets which are there in this model. In this data set, in this data set, what you do is you will take some amount of data here for training purpose and some amount of data for here validation purpose. So like for example, firstly what you have to do is divide the divide the training data into two groups. So what are the data that you are getting? This is your complete data. That data you divide into two groups. The first group, generally, okay, the first group is you take some data you take as a training and some data you take as a validation. In this one, first train the model with the training data and evaluate the performance model using the validation set. And suppose if your model yields satisfactory performance, that's fine. If you don't produce a satisfactory results, and modify the model and repeat the process. Okay, so here there are different kinds of validation technique. So sometimes, so what happens is, so I'll just share the training and validation data. Okay, so let me take a little mark. Sometimes they will try to train, they'll try to train from here to here to here to here to here, and they'll try to validate by using this. And sometimes sometimes they will try to in a model by taking the random data. This is called the cross validation. So that may happen anywhere. It's not only that. So it is as simple as that. Instead of taking data at one particular specific location, you take the data at random location and try to validate the random parameters, and then you can specify whether the results that you are getting is correct or not. So this type of, by this way of approaches, like more generalizability and more sort of cross validation, you can try to overcome the problem of overfitting. So let's close this class here. In the next class we'll talk about the type of machine learning, and then we'll discuss in detail about that.